Welcome, podcast listeners. You are here with your host, Mr. BudgetPedalChap. You are also joined by the incredible, the amazing, the man from man. It's Mr. Matt Quine. Say hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Hey! And you are here with Fret Talk episode 107. This is out of the ordinary for us because we are recording on an incredibly sunny afternoon. You might even, at points during this, you might even be able to hear me sweating. It is that bad. So, for you podcast listeners, I have closed the windows and shut the doors and made sure that there's no extraneous noise coming through this audio, but at the expense of my comfort. So I will be taking one for the team on this one. So You are very much welcome. How are you, Matt?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Tired, but you know, I'm always tired.
I think that's just becomes adult life, doesn't it? Anything after like the age of 25, it's just a cycle of being tired, and then pretty much that. I mean, you wake up, you're still tired. You just about get untired, and then you're tired again.
Yep, yeah, it's pretty much it. Working night shifts is interesting.
Yeah, I would expect so. I would expect so.
Well, yeah. Other than that, I'm good.
You're having to teach yourself to become nocturnal.
Yeah, which is mostly all right until like you remember. I often talk about working for an events company.
Yeah.
Well, yesterday morning at 9 a.m, I got a phone call from the guy who runs that company asking if I could help him yesterday. Now, bearing in mind, I finished my shift at 5:30 and went to bed about 6:30. Probably got to sleep about 7 o'clock. So I got 2 hours sleep, and then I had this guy calling me, and I'm like, oh. And then didn't get back to sleep, so that was fun. Yeah,
so that was kind of prime sleeping time. That's the equivalent of being called up at like 1 a.m. You know,
for a normal person, yeah.
Can you just like wake up and come and sort this problem out for me? Yeah, completely. I will do that. I will absolutely do that. No.
Yeah.
But the trials and tribulations, the things we do for a better job, essentially, isn't it?
Yeah. How about yourself? How are you?
Yeah, I mean, exactly the same. It's just really tired. Really, really tired. I seem to be doing less and less during the summer, but being more and more tired, and I don't know how that's working out. I think me and heat don't work out very well. So
I definitely know that feeling.
Yeah, I think as I've got older, I've become a slightly stockier build. That's a nice way of putting it, isn't it? And with that comes the absolute hatred of being like above a certain temperature or below a certain temperature. I like just being kind of tepid, and anything out of that realm it's not good.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I totally know that feeling.
Oh, we're getting old, man. We're getting old. But hey ho, I suppose we should talk about some guitar-y stuff, shouldn't we? Because it's probably about 5 minutes in already. I don't know. I've forgot to put my glasses on for today as well, so my vision is not fantastic. So
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll be all right. If there's any terrible stuff, I can edit it out. I say that every time, and I'll never do. So
when was the last time you edited a podcast that Ayrton wasn't on?
Yeah, that's pretty much it, isn't it? Yeah, it's got to be. Has he been on since the 100?
Not that I'm aware of.
The 100 was a live one, wasn't it? I think he might have been on 101, but I don't know.
He was, because he took part in the first Room 101, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Yes, there you go then.
Yeah.
So it's been a little while. Yeah, I mean, 107, that's got to be about 2 months now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cray. Right, so what you been up to, man? What you been up to? You been up to any guitar-y based things?
I've played a little bit of guitar. The old band is asking me to learn songs and put them in the set, which is great because I've got to learn stuff for the new band and I've now got to learn stuff for the old band. So yeah, I've been learning some stuff to put in a set for. I've got a practice tomorrow night and then a gig on Saturday. So I've been learning an Arctic Monkeys track from their first album. I say I've been learning that. I pretty much learnt that entire album when I was about 16, so
cool.
I haven't actually looked at that yet, and the practice is tomorrow night, and I'm pretty comfortable that I'll be fine.
What tune is it?
I think it's Fake Tales of San Francisco, but I mean, they could say any of the tracks on that album, and I can play both the guitar parts, so...
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. That one wasn't too bad.
It's like whenever anyone throws a Thin Lizzy tune at me, yeah, I've got that covered. Pretty sure I know that. Pretty sure I know that better than the guy who wrote it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So I've got that. I've got Love Will Tear Us Apart by Joy Division.
Absolute tune, yeah.
Yeah. So we're putting that in the set to replace Every Day I Love You Less and Less as our favourite wedding song.
Love will tear us apart. It's very melancholy. So it kind of fits that. Whereas Every Day I Love You, it's a bit more aggressive.
Yeah.
Whereas the Joy Division almost sounds like you're resigned to the fact that the marriage will not work.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to getting that one in the set. There is something else. I can't remember what it was. It's something again that I stuff we've already done in the past. So I can't remember which tracks it is, but I know them. I just need to go over them again because we've been going for nearly 10 years now, which is scary, and we're putting stuff in from. It's She Bangs the Drums by. Is that Stone Roses?
No, I haven't an absolute clue.
I think it's a Stone Roses track, and there's another one called What You Know by a band called the Two Door Cinema Club.
Interesting.
One of them's clean, one of them isn't. Okay. That's all I remember. That's all I remember about those tracks.
Yeah, so, yeah. Where you have to stand on your pedal board.
Yeah.
Sound?
Yeah, so that's mostly what I've been doing, apart from buying gear.
What?
I think you teased what I bought on the last podcast.
Oh yes, I did.
The live podcast that hasn't been released yet, but I managed to catch some clips of while I sat in an airport.
Nice.
So yeah, I have bought a Raise the Dead fuzz off Mr. Tater FX.
Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, yo. Yeah, I mean, it's an absolute marvel of engineering, like electronic engineering, with the pickup simulator impedance thing, just so that you put it anywhere and it will be sound. So I can't wait for you to try that because I've tried it and I think it's absolutely stupid fun. It's complete immaturity, but.
Yeah, well, like, there's a couple of tracks that the new band is doing where, rather than drive, I could do with fuzz, and, like, I'd been coveting a Raise the Dead for a while, and then Stuart put on Instagram that he had some B stock floating around, and I think it's got a scratch on it somewhere.
Yeah.
And if I'm putting it on my pedal board, eventually it's going to get a scratch.
Yeah, that scratch is going to multiply.
So, yeah, it really, like, the finish really doesn't bother me, and it was down from 1 whatever it is to 130, and I was just like, okay, well, I'll have that then.
So here's a little inside scoop for anyone looking at the tight effects stuff, is that Stuart has an incredibly low tolerance for not perfect stock. So when he says B stock, chances are that's probably something that you wouldn't even consider to have been a blemish. He's just that much of a perfectionist. But it does mean that you can get like an extra like 20 odd quid knocked off a pedal just because he's so picky.
Yeah.
Which you've managed to utilise. Has he sent you a picture of the thing coming to you yet?
No, I've had emails saying it's on the way.
Yeah. I know something about that. I'll tell you about it after the cast. It's gonna be a fun. In fact, I probably won't actually. I'll wait for you to see it because it's really funny.
Okay.
So you've got a fantastic surprise waiting for you.
Hey.
So yeah, that's awesome, and the fact that like you're going to be getting one of those pedals that I've managed to play, but can't really talk about with most people because they haven't played it. So we get to compare notes as well.
Yeah. I'm quite looking forward to that. It's just like I say, I sort of need fuzz, but don't particularly actually like need it. It's just it.
Yeah, I mean,
it'll fit a couple of songs, and I'm sure I can find other places to put fuzz.
Yep. I'm sure there's a euphemism or something.
I'm pretty sure I can find an extra 12 bars in Red House to change my guitar tone slightly.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, Raise the Dead coming to you. I think I'm going to dig mine out, and we'll do a little comparison. What we might do is do like a little playoff where we do like a comparison video with both of us. If I can grab some time, we'll do that. See what we can get out of it.
That sounds like a good idea.
It does, doesn't it?
The other thing that I've bought is that we've spoken about, but you've not seen yet. It's finally arrived. My little compressor from JSA. Nice. That's going to go on the board when I get to practice tomorrow night. And it's going to replace the Moore, and I'm going to try and dial it in tomorrow night. See how easy it is to dial in at a practice.
There is that the one? Has it got the compression rate LED on it as well?
Yeah, so I don't know if you can see at the bottom there's two LEDs. One is for on-off, and the other one is for
indicates when the compression triggers.
Yeah, and then it's got a level, a comp, and then a speed switch as well.
I mean that in and of itself is worth the admittance price alone. That is, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, the LED is just perfect for idiots like me that can't tell until it's too late.
Yeah, well, that's it with compression. By the time you can hear it, it's already too much.
Yeah. So that's going to give me a whole lot easier. So I'm sure it's going to. That's why I'm planning on dialing it in at practice, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be very easy to dial in.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's arrived, and is, like I say, it'll go on the board tomorrow. And the other thing that I've bought, which isn't
what?
The other thing that I've bought, which isn't actually guitar related, but is for guitar style stuff, is I film all the videos I do on my iPhone, and in the Amazon Prime Day sales, I picked up a tripod with a shotgun mic on it that is designed for phones. And I tried the microphone out the other day, and what I did was I turned my Alexa up to 10, put some music on, and then tried to see whether like the shotgun mic is directional as it's supposed to be, and you can barely hear the music in the background, and you can hear me talking fine, which was really weird because I couldn't hear myself when I was saying the words. So that should improve the quality of my videos, I would hope.
You're going to be doing them better than I can soon. Sounds like something I should invest in.
But yeah, so that's the other thing that's sort of I've spent some money on.
Kind of segues into what I've been doing as well, actually, which, in comparison to you with your spending spree, going making it rain, it is very little. So I've been trying to utilise the equipment that I've already got and see what is the most viable option for some silent recording, because I'm in the situation where if ever I want to do any recording, like of pedal demos or even kind of music recording just in general. If my son is in the house, if I start playing my instruments while he's in the house, he will come over and intervene with my practice regime. And if I do it whilst he's in bed, the noise is likely going to wake him up, and no one wants to wake up a child.
No.
I mean, he's woke me up enough times, so it's not a moral issue. I don't care if I wake him up because he deserves it. But it's more of the fact that I would then have to deal with that shit, which nobody wants to do. So I've been looking for silent solutions, and I've been trying out a couple, and I tried two things concurrently, and I did a little kind of test. So the way I did it, because I haven't got an ABY box and I needed to split my signal into two, I plugged myself into one of the TC pedals with a stereo out, and went from the stereo out but bypassed the pedal, which worked perfectly. And then I sent one into the Joyo British Sound, which is their take on the Tech 21 Marshall emulator. I can't remember what they call it. I think a JC emulator or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. But it's essentially like it's Marshall flavoured, and then it's got like a voice control where it goes from earlier lower gain Marshalls to more modern kind of the 800 900 kind of style, where it's got a bit more gain, a bit more bottom end as well. So this voice control is really, really nice. It almost works as kind of like a sweepable presence control, but also affects the gain as well.
Yeah.
So I had to go with that. But then the other side of it went directly into the front of my HT5, which has got an emulated line out, which is supposed to model a 112 cab or a 412 cab, depending on whether which way you've got it set. I always felt that the emulated line out was okay, but not fantastic. So what I did with both signals, I treated them both the same and run them through an IR loader on the computer, and then through a little bit of reverb so that it doesn't seem quite as directed in your face. Yeah. The first experiment with it, the IRs that I used were very, very poor quality. So it made the sound really boxy. But then I managed to find that Celestion do a free set of IRs, one of which is a modelled Vintage 30. So I used that, and with this IR loader, you can load two different IRs and blend them. So I did a Vintage 30 close mic'd, and then like the back of a Vintage 30, and then kind of blended it into taste, and then it sounded much, much nicer. It's still not quite up to standard, and not quite at a point where I'd say that's good enough to replace my pedal demo rig, but it's getting there, and I've done some experimentation with that. So out of the two, out of the British Sound and the HC5, the HT5 probably sounded nicer, but there weren't great deals in it. And I think the problem was I'd just plugged straight into them without kind of dialing them in. So I had the EQ set, because I used the British Sound a couple of weeks back for a drive pedal, as I mentioned on our last cast. So I'd got it dialed in where it sounded great with a bit of drive, and with this I'd dialed it all the way back so it was a bass clean tone. Amp. Yeah. So I mean that's a potential something that I might want to mess about with to see if I can get like a slightly fuller and less less top end heavy sound. But I've also got kicking around. I've got the Harley Benton version of the American sound, which is the Tweed amp emulator thing from Tech 21, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
And they're supposed to be really good. The guy from In the Blues, Shane, he often cites them as. I mean, he on a recent video of his asked if he had to do a gig without an amp, what he'd use, and he said, "I'd run my pedal board with one of those at the end, and that'd be good enough for me." So that's potential for getting a nicer clean tone for it. And if I can get that working, I'm going to be rolling in pedal board demo reviews and whatnot soon.
Ace.
So that should be good. It was a really interesting rabbit hole that I went down because I found the free Celestion impulse responses, but then I also found another company that did a bunch of different impulse responses, but not only like guitar cabs. There was like Mesa cabs and orange cabs, and there was like a Vox combos that were emulated as well. But it also did bass cabs as well. So for when I'm DIing bass tracks, if I ever need to do that, I've then got that as a slightly more authentic tone for that as well.
All sounds good.
And it's encouraged me a little bit to look into some more of the Celestion stuff, because they did really sound good. And I know that Brian Wampler mentions and cites the Celestion impulse responses as being really quite easy to use and really quite good sounding as well.
Yeah, I mean, and to be fair, if they're free as well, they're accessible to everybody, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody with a computer.
That's it. So I mean, the free impulse responses, all you needed to do was like put in an email address, and then it sends them through to that. And there was probably a good 5 or 6 different impulse responses there, which were free. And then obviously, if you know that there's a speaker that you specifically like, if you're a fan of the greenback or the creamback or the golds or the blues, you could then just go onto their website and download those impulse responses. And I don't think they're particularly expensive as well. So there you go. That's been my foray into that kind of side of the modelling world. It's kind of pairing it with an analog preamp, if you will.
Yeah.
Which it's fine. It's fine. Absolutely fine. I did find that when I was using the HT5, because it was a direct line from an amplifier, there was a noise to the signal. Because I was using single cores as well, which I usually do. There was that kind of low hum, which I dialed out using a simple noise gate. But it was a little bit noisier than the pedal for some reason. But
yeah,
it is what it is. So we've got some news, haven't we? We've got some news. It's been, don't know if you know this, listener, but quite recently there's been something called SNAMM. And SNAMM is somewhat of a big deal. So on our last podcast, we absolutely smashed through a great deal of the SNAMM news. But we're picking up some of the other news articles that weren't out then, or that just didn't quite reach that peak to be mentioned straight away. So the first one, which is an instrument company and an instrument which is kind of close to my heart, which is Fender. They're releasing a custom shop version of Phil Lynnett's bass, so the bass player and lead singer of Thin Lizzy. So massive Thin Lizzy fan. And so this is it's based on his 78p bass, and it's pretty stock. Apart from it's got the mirrored pickguard, which is synonymous with Phil's bass, and it's got the Badass 2 bridge, which I'm not entirely sure what it is, but I kind of want one. So, yeah.
If it's a badass bridge, it's better than a normal bridge, isn't it?
And this is not even just the badass bridge. This is the badass 2. This is twice as badass, or at least increased badassery. So it's like I say, mirrored pickguard, badass bridge. There are only 60 of these basses being made, so relatively exclusive. If you think about the amount of people in the world, 60 wouldn't even give one each. So they're made by John Cruz as well, which is, I mean, he's a
master builder, isn't he?
He's not just a master builder; he's one of the master builders. So I mean, he's so prolific that I've heard of his name.
I mean, I've only heard of one of them, and is it Yuri Shishkov is here?
Yeah, Shishkov. Yeah. Cruz is another one.
There's like 10 of them, isn't there? So
yeah, there's quite a few. But if it were a question in Pointless, I'd be able to do Shishkov, I'd be able to do Cruz, and then after that, I'd just mumble relatively American-sounding names until they stopped asking me. Yeah, 60 pieces, John Cruz. How much? You already know the answer to this one, but how much would you say would be a reasonable price for what is essentially like a late 70s bass guitar with a mirrored pickguard and a slightly different bridge?
Okay, so it's basically a guitar that they already make, but made by a master builder.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's got a master builder's name on it, so you probably add 70% of the normal price. So if we say an American P bass is 1,700 quid.
Yeah.
$3,000?
I mean, that sounds about fair. What I would do is slap an extra grand on for the
mirror. Of course, they've got to buy a mirror, haven't they?
No, I was going to say for the custom shop, for the sake of it being gracing the walls of the custom shop, slap a grand on it just for that.
Okay, yeah. So we'll say $4,000 then. There, so it's a £4,000 bass, right?
Yeah. Well, we're not terribly far off. So if you're thinking like you could get an American P bass for about, let's say, 1,300 if you look around, times it by 10. And then you're there. This is 13,449 for this thing. I'm a Thin Lizzy fan, and like I'm stumped. I'm completely stumped. I was sniffing, like turning my nose up at the fact that they reissued the Johnny the Fox album vinyl, but in the rare red print. And I was going, 22 quid for that. My gosh, I can get the CD for like 4 quid on Music Magpie or something. So yeah. Perhaps I'm not the target audience for this specific thing. But they did say it's for the aficionados and the collectors. But really, like if you thought of like prolific P bass players, I don't think even like being a massive Thin Lizzy fan, I don't think Phil would be topping that list. I don't think it'd even be in the top 5. So
I'm going to be really offensive now, and I'm very sorry to anybody who's a bass player, but if you asked me what bass Phil Lynott played, I wouldn't have been able to answer. I'd probably have guessed a jazz bass.
Yeah.
Because it was the 70s.
Yeah, so, I mean, he started off on a Rickenbacker, and when that broke, he got the P bass. But then by the end of his career, he weren't using either of those. He was using something else, and I'm not quite sure what it was. It was a bit of an oddball. It might have been an Ibanez actually, because it had a weird long headstock.
Yeah, like, I mean, I've never really paid attention to bass players, even when they sing. The only bass player that I'm pretty sure I could point out the bass that he uses is Lemmy, and that's a black 4003. And other than that, John Entwistle used to make his own, and
John Entwistle he used Warwick, didn't he, as well?
He did, but like he was synonymous for kind of making his own early on because he didn't like what everybody else was making.
Picky bastard.
Yeah, exactly. And then other than that, you've got our old left-handed Beatles man playing that stupid violin bass.
Left-handed Beatles man. That's his full name.
Yeah. His name does not cross my lips. I don't like him at all.
You're not a Macca fan?
I just... the guys at work were doing a top 10 Paul McCartney songs post the Beatles, and
I mean, there aren't 10, are there? There's...
Well, this was my argument was, how are you getting anything? And they had Band on the Run as being a good song, and it's just wet and boring and nonsense.
Yeah.
They literally had to go so far as to put the frog chorus, because it was one of 10 songs that they could name, which proves my point exactly.
Yeah. If you're saying that is the top 10 of anything, unless this top 10 is shit songs, then you've probably lost. I mean, like, Live and Let Die is legitimately a tune. It's got some awesome weirdness to it.
It was better when Guns N' Roses did it, though. It's one of those songs that the cover's better than the original.
Nah, I mean, I could argue either way, but I don't think I want to. Yeah, I don't like it that much. Yeah, Macca very much was better with the Beatles, weren't he?
Yeah, he was.
So I think that's and that's the end of our news. Macca was better with the Beatles, and other obvious things. So let's move on to the other thing that the Fender Custom Shop have. I mean, they released a few things at the Custom Shop, but largely I did not care. So the other thing is Stevie Ray Vaughan. So they have done, since the 90s, they've done a Stevie Ray Vaughan signature. I believe, and don't quote me on this one because I put very little effort into researching this, is that the original Stevie Ray Vaughan signatures were like as new. They weren't 1-for-1 replicas, so it weren't like custom shop relic replicas. Whereas this is more of a close representation of what his number one was. So let's have a look. So new old stock custom shop, oval C neck profile, faded 3-tone sunburst. This is the bit that I love. Tastefully aged. Oh dear.
Hang on a minute, so it's an SRV and they've tastefully... Is this like before he picked it up then?
Yeah. This was prior to Stevie Ray. So I don't think there's anything that you could say about Stevie Ray's Strat that was tasteful. I mean, the giant gaudy scratch plate with his name scribbled onto it, it's like carved into it. The gold appointments and nothing was subtle about it, and the fact that it probably had about a third of the paint if you're being generous. But just tastefully aged it's one of those oxymoronic sentences, and it's like oxymorons escape me. Microsoft Works, there you go. Microsoft Works is was another one of those oxymoronic. Yeah. So tastefully aged. You can hear the quotation marks being done in my voice, can't you? Left hand trem. So left-handed trem on a right-handed guitar, as per Hendrix, essentially. So Stevie Ray was a Hendrix fan, and apparently this is why he had the upside-down trem. Custom shop Texas specials. I don't know if they're any different than the regular Texas specials that are for sale. They're okay. They're not bad pickups, but they are off-the-shelf pickups. They're pickups that aren't blessed by unicorn tears or whatnot. So yeah. So what would you expect to pay for that? What would you expect to pay for that? So Stevie Ray.
It's not master built. It's just normal custom shop.
There weren't a name done to it. It might be master built. I don't know.
I mean, if it was master built, then they'd have a name on it. There's a possibility that it's team built, which is where like a lot of the master builders have had their hands on it at some point. But usually, again, that's highly advertised. So if we take it as a normal custom shop Strat,
yeah,
with a signature model price on top of it, 3.5.
Yeah, I mean we're swing and a miss again. So this one's 5298, and when compared to the Phil Lynott one, you think this is a bargain. This is yeah
Getting myself not too bad.
Could buy two of these and still have change from the Phil Lynott. However, if you come back down to earth from that strange cloud you've been floating on, what's this, essentially £5,300 for a guitar? It's a lot of money, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's a lot of money.
It's not even like he's played it himself. It is. Like once you start paying more than about £3,500, £4,000 for a guitar, I'd be wanting like some provenance with it as well, as opposed to this is a copy.
Yeah, essentially this is like one of those vintage copies, isn't it? Oh dear. So I have no doubts that they'll fly off the shelves, and you won't ever see them in shops because there are so many Stevie Ray Vaughan collectors. I mean, you see it with the old Stevie Ray Vaughan signatures that are still holding their value and even increasing in value. So these ones will be gone before you even get to see them. So worth a mention, but for us mere mortals, it will be the last we ever hear of them.
Yeah.
Apart from on like eBay 2000 in 30 years, and it will be here's the those crazy Stevie Ray Vaughan replicas for $7 million. Yeah, sound. Yeah, I'll buy that.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at these custom shop prices, I am in the wrong industry. I'm sure it wouldn't take me that long to make a Stevie Ray Vaughan replica. It may not be quite as perfect, but I'll sell it you off the price.
Yeah.
Sounds like a bargain, doesn't
it? I don't understand, but if people are willing to pay, then I guess I do understand, because
the market is clearly not me, and I've come to terms with that. I've made peace with this fact, but it still doesn't mean I'm any closer to understanding it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand rocket science, but I acknowledge the fact that there are people who do that as a job and send rockets into faraway lands.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
There you go, Stevie Ray Vaughan, custom shop, the rocket science of the guitar world. So, next piece of news, Charvel limited edition. Right, let's get this right. Super stock SC1. So this it's a bit of a bit of a naughty guitar. This is. It's a little bit naughty. So it's essentially it's a souped up Super Strat, but with slightly more classic stylings. So it doesn't look absolutely mental. It's not neon orange. You could play this. So looking at it, I thought it looked a bit like a Dave Murray Strat. So it's got that kind of aesthetic, black paint, aged pick guard, and it's a HS configuration. So it's 22 frets, compound radius fretboard from 12 to 16, Pow Ferro board, which is common amongst Fender-ish. Yeah, the FMIC is it. Pickups are an EVH Wolfgang in the bridge and a Seymour Duncan Screaming Demon in the neck, so the single coil humbucker essentially.
Yeah.
There's no tone control, so it's completely useless. It's a single volume and a Floyd Rose, fully. I think it's an American Floyd Rose system. Interesting guitar. It's relict as well. It's and this one. If I was going to say like tastefully aged, I'd say more about this one than I would about the Stevie Ray.
I mean, this is more tastefully aged than the SRV because it has some paint left on it.
It does, yeah. You could tell that it once was a black guitar, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's quite an interesting one. I think the news article that I found said it was $2,066. However, I'm sure I've seen it for sale in the UK for around $1,000. So
that's definitely two different prices.
It is. Do you mind doing a little bit of a Google snoopery there? I think it was Anderton's that had it at that price. So maybe it's a case where the original article done fluffed it. But yeah, I think in terms of
Super Stock SC1.
Super Stock, yeah.
Right.
So I thought it has very EVH vibes to it. The Frankenstrat kind of style with the bridge humbucker and neck single coil. Obviously less absolutely battered than the Frankenstrat, but it's got the same kind of what are we saying, Matt? What are we saying?
I mean, you're right. It's around £1,000, but how you didn't remember this number, I don't know.
69.
£1,069.
There you go, 69. So there you go.
Yeah.
That's the British price. Obviously, the US dollars price. I think was probably wrong on the article. What do you think of the look of it, Matt? What do you think?
It looks more like a classic Strat than a Super Strat.
It does, doesn't it?
But it looks weird with no middle pickup.
Yeah.
Because it's a classic instrument. I can get over the fact that there's a Floyd Rose on it. I mean, yeah. I'm not touching it with a barge pole myself, but it looks a bit weird with the humbucker single coil. I think if it was humbucker and full-sized humbucker, it wouldn't look so weird.
Yeah.
I also don't like the fact that the truss rod adjustment is at the bottom of the neck, not on the headstock.
Oh, is it heel adjust?
Yeah, I mean it's one of those ones where you've got the bit that you just put the
wheel,
bar in.
The wheel. Yeah.
Yeah.
They are the best one. They are literally the best one.
But it looks weird.
I don't care about the look of it. I think it doesn't necessarily hinder the look too much. But they are so convenient for truss rod adjustment.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
That I can get. But yeah, it looks like somebody's tried to modernise the Strat in a way that I don't like. Is how I describe that.
For me, it kind of what it strikes me as is if I needed to play something with a Floyd Rose system, that is the most likely culprit because it's still in keeping with the kind of classic traditional look that most of my other guitars are accustomed to. I would be more likely to be playing that than I would be anything that is bright neon colours or that is like a matte black with ridiculously high output pickups in as well. So I dug it. I thought it was kind of cool. And essentially $1,069 isn't a terrible price for it.
No, I mean, for an all-American guitar, that's not too bad.
That's it. We've got a final bit of news, but we've also got a little segment that I forgot to put at the start, which we'll do after this as well. So, Fender. We seem to be Fender heavy this week. They had a series of pedals. I think it was not last year, but the year before that they released. They've been releasing little bits ever since. They've released another 6 in that pedal line. So we're talking the pedal line that's got the Santa Ana overdrive and the marine layer reverb and those ones. Is it the chorus or a reverb? I can never tell. Anyway,
I mean, like as much as we've talked about them on the podcast, I don't know any of them.
Yeah, I think that's largely been this series of pedals, isn't it? The fact that they are technically competent. I've heard quite a few reviews of them saying that they are actually quite good. But
they're about 10 years too late getting into this game.
Yeah.
If I'm being polite, like, it's all well and good releasing some good pedals now, but other people have also released good pedals in the past.
Yeah, you're playing the catch-up game. So let's have a look at them, see if there's anything that tickles our fancy. So the first one is the reflecting pool, which has got 2 sides. It's basically a delay and reverb built in together, but it's also got a third switch in the centre, and the third foot switch is a tap tempo. I assume only for the delay and not the reverb, because how do you get the tempo of a reverb? Who knows? So that's pretty cool. The fact that it's a delay, so it's essentially like your space station. It gives you the reverb and the delay switchable, and then tunable to your sounds. I think I didn't read this, but I saw the fact that there were like 5 jack inputs on the top, so I'm assuming that this is a stereo out, which would be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing 5 jack outputs at the top, but every website that it's on doesn't tell me whether it's stereo in or stereo out. That's incredible.
Yeah. I mean,
I assume that's what that is.
You've got to assume with that amount. I mean, you just expect one to be maybe like an expression, and then the others to be like input A, input B, and then stereo out. Yeah. So that in and of itself is pretty cool. In terms of functionality, like it's got everything you'd need from your space creator. So that one I quite liked. So the pour over, so like pouring over stuff. An envelope filter with an inbuilt distortion. Okay, so are you still with me there? Like that's a little bit strange.
Who's asking for that?
So if you think back, a couple of years back, EHX did something a little bit similar. The cockfight.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So they had it was essentially like a static wah pedal, but that you could then have an expression pedal in. So it was essentially a wah with an inbuilt fuzz. So I think they may be working along the same lines of that. However, this is an envelope filter, so it's essentially auto wah. It's got a high and low pass filter as well. So it's a really strange one. I had to double check the write up for this one because I was just a little bit stumped. It was just a little bit strange. So that's that. Envelope filters don't feature heavily in a lot of catalogues. Probably for good reason.
I was going to say probably because there's not very many uses for an envelope filter.
But the fact that they're catering to that corner of the market as well could be quite interesting. The next one is called the Smolder. SMOLDER. Smolder.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is the point in this?
Right, so this is it's marketed as an acoustic overdrive pedal, which you look at those two words together and you just getting perplexed, aren't you?
Yeah, and the headline on at least two of the retailers says designed specifically for acoustic guitars. Yep. Who wants an overdrive for their acoustic guitar?
Right. So bear with me here. I think I understand this pedal. So it's got pickup compensation. So it smoothens out some of the harshness of the piezo system because they can sound really toppy and quite false.
Yeah.
So it's got a pickup correction. So that's brilliant to start off with. It's got drive, 3-band EQ, and a cab sim. So what I'm thinking, if you ignore the fact that it has got drive, so turn that down so that it's not necessarily affecting the signal. Pickup compensation, 3-band EQ, and cab sim. That is an acoustic preamp pedal there.
Yeah. But then why market it as an overdrive and not an acoustic?
That's because they're plain silly sausages. They clearly don't understand. Maybe it does sound good driving acoustic. I haven't heard the pedal yet. For me, it would be the box that you take in your gig bag with your acoustic guitar. You're going into a PA, but you don't want it to sound harsh and shitty. Pull this up, dial into the room. You've got your cab sim, you've got your pickup corrector. Maybe if you're doing acoustic versions of Slayer tunes, put just a tiny bit of drive on, and then you sort it. Right now, this
it's got a blend knob on it as well. So,
okay.
You can blend your drive completely out.
That's it. You can blend blend the pedal completely off. There you go. That's better. I think we found the solution to this one.
Sorry.
Sorry, it made me chuckle. Right, so the fourth one in this list, which is potentially my favourite, not because of what the pedal does, but because of the name. So this is called the Compugilist. So if you remember rightly, in that range was a drive pedal called the Pugilist. Have a guess what the Compugilist is, Matt?
Is it a compressor and a pugilist?
It is a compressor and a pugilist, yes. It fills me with so much joy that they have portmanteaued the shit out of those two words. Well done, Fender. I doff my cap to thee. So I don't think there's much that can be said about that. You get the standard controls that you would on a comp. You get the standard controls that you would on your drive channel. They're switchable. You're sorted. So you can essentially have that as your drive station. Add the compression. You can have compression with drive to smoothen it out. You can have compression on its own to smoothen out some clean notes. Maybe add a bit of upper end chime to your clean notes, or you could just have the drive as your kind of your standard go-to drive. I like the idea. I like the name. I really like the name. So I think that's how to win me over, Fender. Crudely jam two words together. Right, so the next one is the Trapper Fuzz. So it's a fuzz with two voices. it's also got a switchable octave. So rather than the two foot switches, which I thought it was initially, being like voice 1, voice 2. No, that's selectable through a little toggle switch. You find which voice you like, and then you've got your upper octave switch, foot switch to add some dirty noise. So essentially, what I'd see as like Jack White in a box.
Yeah.
I don't know what two fuzzes these are voiced on. I would assume, quote unquote, vintage style, and then like quote unquote 90s style IC based fuzz, maybe. Or
would you like me to read what their description says?
God, if it's got to be really close to that, hasn't it? Yeah.
It's with the first voice, you get a softer sounding fuzz with a switchable high octave function. Once activated, the additional octave allows you to generate synth-like tones. Mm-hmm. And then, on the other hand, for voice 2, you get a much grittier sounding fuzz with a highly interactive noise gate.
Okay. So the switch changes function then?
Apparently so.
Yeah, so fuck that second one off. You clearly want the one with the octave, don't you? Who needs a switchable noise gate? Surely, if you've got a noise gate, it's either on or off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. That's a potential hit as well, because octave fuzzes are always good fun. Right, the final one is MTG:LA, which
is the worst name for a pedal I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, the Matagla. Or Matagla. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it. Either way. I assume it's got something to do with LA, and it's maybe like an 80s LA scene, kind of glam metal, Motley Crue style, like the Sunset Strip kind of style drive, but I don't know, because Matagla does not mean anything. So what it is a tube distortion pedal. It uses a preamp tube, which is the new old stock 6205 preamp tube, which if it's not a 12AX7 or an ECC 83.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, not a clue. So it's got what we got. We've got tone, bass, treble, tight, a boost, and it's got a boost, switchable boost as well, which can either be clean or it can be driven. So it's got volume and gain for that boost. So you either make it one louder or gainier and louder.
I mean, that's they've named it terribly though, because the controls for the boost are a level control and a boost control. Now, don't those two things mean the same thing?
Well, you would expect that the boost would be only for the boost, and then the level, maybe that's got something to do with the drive side of the thing. Have I got like a
no. So there's two level controls right next to each other, and then there's a box around the two controls for the boost, which is level and boost. Just name one of them grit at least.
Yeah. Or drive, grit, gnarliness, or grr. Something which would suggest drive. Like,
yeah. Go on there. Yeah. This is like I said, the worst named pedal I've ever heard.
Yes, yeah.
And there are some terribly named pedals out there.
So have you got the information up on that one?
Yeah, just says stuff like makes creamy overdrive, tube amp distortion sounds.
Yeah, you kind of general sales bullshit. But does it mention anything about the power consumption and the jack required for it? If it's 18 volt or anything special? Because tube driven pedals are it doesn't mention
it doesn't have a power draw on it on this one.
Okay.
It's a normal 9-volt supply it needs, but
Yeah.
it doesn't mention what the draw is on the pedal.
I mean, because the TC Tube pilot had a 9-volt 9-volt barrel jack, but that had ridiculous current draw, didn't it?
Yeah. I'm just trying to find on the website whether it's got it, and it doesn't. Nowhere seems to know. I guess these probably because these haven't actually dropped yet.
Yeah.
The websites.
Yeah, they're waiting to update on that. So,
yeah.
Out of those pedals, Matt, out of that list of pedals, so we've got let's have a look again. The reflecting pool, the pour over, the smolder, the compugilist, the trapper, or the metagla. Which one do you think you'd go for? If you were said that you could have one of those for free, which one would you? Which would you have?
As much as it's not massively my thing, I'd probably go for the reflecting pool.
Yeah. I think out of all of them, it is the least exciting, but it is potentially the most safe as well, isn't it? It does everything that you want it to. They've really thought about it.
Yeah, I mean, like I've always been sort of somebody who says if I'm having a delay pedal, it needs a tap tempo function.
Yep. That box
which
is
this
ticked,
has.
yeah.
There's 3 different types of reverb that all have 3 different voices. There's 3 different types of delay with like another 6 different things on mini switches that you can change around. So you can definitely change the sort of sounds that you're getting out of this.
Yeah.
So it looks a fairly versatile delay and reverb pedal, and it's got a tap tempo function. It looks like it's stereo in, stereo out. It kind of ticks all those boxes. It's fairly expensive, but I mean, I assume it's aiming at like the Strymon levels of.
Well, how much is this one going for, the reflecting pool?
$259.
I mean, it's not bad considering like a Strymon's going a good 300-400 quid, isn't it?
Yeah.
A lot. If you think the next the DD 500 as well, something like that would
like
be
3
again, and it's just the delay side. So, and it's the pedal that potentially comes in and ends the war between delay and reverb.
Yeah.
You don't need one or the other. You can have both.
Yeah.
You don't need to fight anymore, guys. You don't need to fight anymore. So yeah, for it bridging the gap of delay and reverb and bringing peace to our nations, I think that wins the Fret Talk podcast pedal of the week, which is definitely a thing
that hasn't just been invented this second.
Yeah. Oh dear. I think if I had to go for one which weren't the reflecting pool, name aside, because I'd definitely go for the compugilist because of the name. I'd probably go for the trapper. 2-voice fuzz with a switchable octave. Yeah, why not? Sounds great. The Metagla can get to fuck. So we're at the hour, but with our thing last week where we did Best of British and America's awesome stuff, it got my brain thoughts of thinking. So I'm gonna pose this question: if you could only have stuff from one country, so if you had to get rid of all your gear and you could only have a rig that was from one country of origin. And with this, I'm not worried about where it's manufactured, I'm worried about where the company's based. So, for example, if you were to choose Britain, even though the AC30 may be made overseas, because it's a British company, you could have the AC30 or the ATX15 or whatever.
Yeah.
So, if you could only have it from one country of origin, what would that country be? And a quick amp, guitar, and maybe like top 3 pedals that you'd have as a kind of start off giggable rig. Do you want to?
Are we going high end, or are we going something that is actually feasible? Because if we're going high end, then I'm just going to say the US, because I'll have a custom shop and a 2-rock and I'm sure I can find some pedals, but like if we're going actually achievable, I'd probably go for something that you wouldn't expect.
Go on then. That sounds like it'd be probably more exciting for the listeners. So let's go for the curveball then, Matt.
The curveball, I'm going to say Japan.
Yeah, bastard. That was going to be my choice. Yeah, but go for it.
So I'm taking a Boss Katana 100.
Yeah, that was pretty much going to be my choice as well. Yeah.
I wasn't quite sure whether I was going for that or whether I was going for a Roland Blues Cube, but
oh shit, yeah. Definitely, I'd go for the Blues Cube.
Yeah, maybe. Actually, I think I probably will. Yeah, let's take a Roland Blues Cube. I'm gonna have an Ibanez AZ.
Tasty.
Whichever one.
Yeah.
And I will have the Blues Cube drives all right, doesn't it?
Yeah. Drive sounds fine.
In that case, so yeah, that's my normal drive sound. Then I'll have a Tube Screamer.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will.
And I'll have one of those mini analog delays from that Ibanez range as well.
Yeah, the AD.
And I'm having a Boss OC2 so that I can get some octave sounds.
Shit, man, you win this. You absolutely win. I was going to go for, like, strangely enough, my setup wouldn't have been much different. It was definitely going to be an Ibanez guitar because they have got shed loads to choose from. You've got, like, ridiculous metal guitars, but then you've also got, like, the
hollow bodies.
The Talmans, which are, like, kind of telly flavoured. You've got, like, if you go back in time, you've got, like, the Roadstars, which you could have in Strat setup, or even, like, modern, as you say, the AZ. You could have an HH or an HSS version of one of those. There's so much available, and then you could go like ESP as well, who do like they do like the telly that I've got. They've got the Ronnie Wood's tellies in the ESP lineup. There's so much to choose from in Japan, and I think Japan is an absolute sleeper for some of the massive stuff. The only thing that you're falling back a little bit on is the amps, which is. It's difficult. So if Japan is not available to me, I think America would be your next easiest choice, wouldn't it? But fuck easy. I mean,
so you're gonna pick Estonia.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Let's go Eastern European. No, I'm gonna go for Britain. Good old Blighty. And I couldn't go Britain without having a Vox amp. Could not do it. Because I mean we've got Marshall. Marshall's fine. Yeah, okay. But I think a good old big loud chiropractor inducing chime machine is where I'm at. So I'd have an AC30. And some caster wheels, some British caster wheels.
Good old British caster
that's
wheels.
It. The best quality caster wheels you'll find. I'll go for those. I'll go for the AC30. I'll go for a Vox guitar. One of these double cuts, the SDC. I'll go for the slightly pricier version now because I don't have to go for my cheap ass like junior version. So I'll go for one of those. Or potentially, you know what? I've seen our Joe from Hello Sailor lauding it up that he's got a Maybury Guitars neck on his new Telecaster build, and I'll go for one of those. One of the maybe like Dante. The
T style.
Yeah, the T style one that our Dave Rage had. So get him to do something along those lines for me. So I'm okay with guitars. I think, or maybe even a Fidelity. I've seen a couple of those come up that are quite tasty. I think I could get along with that. I think there's a lot of choice. There's a lot of choice, especially in the boutique market, and this is where Britain comes into their own with the pedals. Yes, 1,000 times yes. So my quest for a Hello Sailor Rangemaster is ever continuing, and in this dream setup, I will definitely have one of those. Because driving the absolute bollocks off an AC30 with a Rangemaster in front of it is one of the purest joys in life.
It is. It's the most fun thing you'll ever do.
So I think I'm happy with that. So I'll have a Hello Sailor Rangemaster. I will have I'll have one of the JSA comp pedals as well with the indicator light, because as you are, Matt, I am stupid, and I need the light to tell me when it's doing the job. And I'm gonna go Tate Effects Raise the Dead just for absolute stupid noise. Just when you feel like the drive on an AC30 with a Rangemaster is not enough, and you want to kick its absolute head in. You can hear how stupid that sounds already, can't you? You can.
But at the same time, you're going, I wonder now that because the Rangemaster's got the pickup thing in, I wonder if I boost the Rangemaster with the Raise the Dead.
There you go, tonal possibilities, and there is absolutely nothing subtle about what I have just created, and fuck it, don't care.
Who cares about subtlety?
I do not care.
Did we come out at the start of this and say we need a subtle guitar rig? No, we didn't. We said we wanted the guitar rig that would give us the most joy.
Yes, yeah. I mean, my hearing probably wouldn't last too long. I don't even think the earplugs that I've got to protect them would withstand that. But that is definitely an experiment that I want to do at one point in my lifetime. AC30, crank it. Rangemaster, crank it. Raise the Dead, crank it. See what happens.
Stick them all, every single control on 10.
That's it.
See.
Oh, and that is a beautiful place at which to end our podcast for today. That is complete and utter tonal destruction.
I like that we've also ignored the USA.
Yes, yeah.
Because that was the easy option, and neither of us took it.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Flying in the face of the common choice, we went, nah. We can do better than that. And I think, to be fair, we've come out with some pretty decent rigs there. Yeah. Yours is potentially more usable. Mine does sound.
I concentrated on stuff that I use regularly.
Yeah. I threw a large middle finger up to that.
Just went, no, loudness. How can I get more loudness?
Yeah, pretty much. But, like, which one of us is going to be standing on the stage with the bigger grin?
I mean, you, clearly.
Yeah, so I think from the fact that I thought I was defeated straight up, that we weren't too bad. Let's wrap the show anyway, because we've done a decent one today. So you catch us online. You go facebook.com/the Fret Talk Podcast Group ? It's something like that. It's in the show notes. You'll find it in there. There'll be numbers and letters, alphanumeric codes, maybe. Fret Talk Podcast Group. You go into groups. You search it. You'll find it. Myself is BudgetPedalChap. Everything pretty much. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all of that good stuff. /BudgetPedalChap. You'll find me. I also appear on the Pedalboards of Doom YouTube channel every so often. And our live podcast happens on there as well. So if you are not part of the Pedalboards of Doom group, make sure that's the case. Again, go check in the show notes. It's literally like 3 button clicks and then you'll be there. Matt, you are heel_MattQ at everything. You are Twitch, Twitter, Instagram.
Yep.
All that jazz. That's it pretty much, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that
occasionally I guest on a YouTube channel called BudgetPedalChap. I'm not sure if you've heard of him.
Well, hey, yes, you do. and like we mentioned, there's probably going to be some kind of raise the dead off soon, which would be nice.
Yeah, that'll be good fun.
It will be. There's also, I don't know if he'll have ended by now, but if it hasn't, definitely check out. It's on the Pedalboards of Doom Facebook group. You can win an Anasound spring reverb pedal. Essentially, they are willing to give away the control unit as well as either the small, medium, or large spring. So if you haven't entered that competition yet, make sure you do, because I am incredibly jealous that I can't win it. So make sure you do. Thank you for making it this far as well into the podcast. I appreciate each and every one of you listening and all of your support. If you do want to make this a bigger and better podcast as well, share it with people. Make sure that people know about it. Get the word out there. So that'll be us for today, number 107. From your host, Mr. BudgetPedalChap. From Mr. Matt Quine. Say bye, Matt.
Bye, Matt.
Hey. It will be.
I like how you pointed the microphone at me there.
Yeah, I did.
Like you were interviewing me.
Yeah. And how do you feel about it? So from both of us, clearly we've got too much sun today. It will be a tatty bye and good day for this week.
This is too weird.
I know. Tatty bye and good night. As per always. Ta-ra a bit. I think I'm getting some noise through my microphone. I don't know. It might be my voice.
I'm picking up some noise on my microphone. It appears to be my voice.
It keeps spiking whenever I talk. I don't know what's that.
Yeah, mine does that as well.
Yeah.